welcome to Iamthetrend TV. I'm your host, Adam, and Bo. We are here live at the Bleeding Hearts Bakery down in Chicago, Illinois, with the man, the myth, the legend,
yes,
Mr. Johnny Cupcakes.
How's it going?
Good, man. Welcome to Chicago.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thanks for taking the time to do this interview with us.
No problem.
So, we'll get right off the bat. How's the tour going?
The tour is amazing. You know, I obviously see all the numbers on Facebook and Twitter and how many people are into my brand, but when you physically see people in person, it's like, holy crap.
You gotta feel like a rock star pulling up to these places, like a line, all the way down the block.
Seeing you on top of Jeeps and commanding the masses and whatnot, it's crazy looking.
It's crazy because we don't really know what to expect at each stop, and I had an idea to do this tour, and within a month or 2 months, I just worked my butt off. I booked all the dates. I just orchestrated everything to make sure we could get this tour rolling on April 2nd. It was going to start April 1st, but I didn't want people to think it was an April Fool's joke.
Right?
So,
Yeah,
absolutely.
But New York was the first date, and when we pulled up, it was like,
here we go.
It was crazy. I've never seen a line that big in my life for any brand, not even Apple. It was a lot of people in New York City, and I didn't go to sleep till 6:30 a.m. that next day. But it's been going great. Meeting a lot of cool people.
Had some surprises along the way too, like the cupcake launcher we were watching. Yeah, that was incredible.
Yeah,
driving around on go-karts.
Yeah,
looks like it's just fun.
Seeing different rappers come out, just random every day it's something new, and it's really cool. And another thing I like about it is that I'm able to bring my employees around the U.S. and some of them have never even been out of the States, so it's really cool for them for me to make my employees have these new experiences and give them something to look forward to, because I don't ever want to be the only person having fun with my brand. I want everyone to be treated well, paid well, and have fun things to look forward to, and have a voice with the brand too.
That's incredible.
Definitely.
Let's talk about the brand a little bit more. I mean, what was one of the deciding factors, or the deciding factor for staying out of retail stores?
I used to be into Shepard Fairey.
Okay.
And I remember how heartbroken I was when I started seeing this stuff in Urban Outfitters and just other shops, and I was getting approached by all these stores, and there were a couple stores that sold my stuff at one point.
Sure.
But I was at a trade show for the second time. I was at the Pool trade show in Vegas, and I was getting orders from Urban Outfitters, from Nordstrom's, Barney's, Macy's, some of the best mom and pop shops around the world. And I could have had more than $100,000 worth of business, and this is when I'm still living with my parents.
Yeah,
right, definitely.
Eating fast food, trying to save money, so I could print more than one color ink on shirts. So I just knew that feeling, and I decided to rip up the orders that day, and I decided to pull my shirts out of the stores that were currently selling them. And even with that amount of money and the instant growth I could have had, I chose longevity.
Sure.
And I'd much rather have a brand that people would appreciate than something that'll be cool for a little bit and then kind of get watered down.
I just love that it forces the consumer. I hate that word, but the buyer of the product, they have to experience JohnnyCupcakes.com and really see the brand vision within that. I really like that about the brand.
That was very important to me too, because when you see someone wearing the same thing that you have on, people get upset. One example I like to use is when a girl is at prom and she sees another girl with the same dress on.
Right.
She wants to rip that girl's face right off her body. So usually when you see someone else with the same exact thing, you see 5 people outside wearing the same hat.
Sure.
You're like, I'm not going to wear this hat, or maybe I'll wear it occasionally. So when I decided to pull my stuff out of stores, this cult following started growing, and anytime someone sees another person with a Johnny Cupcake shirt on, there's an instant connection. Rather than being upset, they're like, you know about Johnny Cupcakes, and they'll be friends instantly.
Dude,
I like to call it T-Harmony instead of
T-Harmony.
But
is that trademarks?
I'm doing some stuff with it, yeah. But it's so cool. I heard a story about a customer of mine in Los Angeles. He was out at a show, and he bumped into somebody, and he had all these drinks in his hand, and he spilt them on some guy, and this guy turned around and they almost had an argument. They had an argument. They almost got into a fight, and they looked at each other's shirts. They had Johnny Cupcake shirts on, gave each other a high five, and now they show up at some of my releases together. And
That's awesome.
It's so cool to hear little stories like that. And people getting best friend tattoos of the logo, and every day I hear a new story. It's really cool.
Absolutely.
That is awesome. So, again, elaborating on your brand a little more, how was your experience working with Looney Tunes and Warner Brothers and things like that? And would you do another collaboration?
How it came about was in a very strange way. I don't even know if I'm allowed to talk about it, but I guess I'll talk about it.
I'm the trade exclusive.
I had my whole thing is I poke fun at pop culture a lot. And there's a big difference between parody and slander, which a lot of people, you see them getting arguments about. There are clever ways to do things or to give nods to pop culture, and that's one of the main things I did when I started my brand. And, the new Batman movie came out. I wanted to do a Batman shirt and a Joker shirt. And so we did these shirts, and we got contacted by Warner Brothers because of the Joker shirt. I guess some people were upset, and I thought it was a joke. So I'm out in Los Angeles building my LA shop out there, and I call back, and I'm on speakerphone with half a dozen executives from Warner Brothers that are like, how many of these did you make, and where'd you sell them, and asking me all these questions. And I was like, I only made a couple hundred, I didn't sell them anywhere. And they were so confused by that because they're used to people ripping them off by hundreds of thousands of products. And they kept asking questions, so I gave them the whole story of the brands. And at the end of the conversation, they were laughing. They were like, we love this, we're going to let this slide, and if you ever want to use any of our properties, we'll give you a tour of Warner Brothers. So I was like, whoa, this is great.
Like about 180 on that.
I went out there, and I grew up watching Looney Tunes amongst tons of other cartoons, and I thought it would be a perfect fit to do something with Warner Brothers and Looney Tunes, and that's how that came about.
That's a definite roundabout way of getting
Yeah, seriously.
Instead of a lawsuit, man, you're making their products. That's incredible.
Yeah. But and before I told everyone the good news, I called one of my designers, and I was like, yeah, Warner Brothers really wants to talk to the person who submitted the files to the T-shirt printer, and they're really upset, and I really freaked them out.
That's awesome.
But I'm always